How you guys doing? Welcome back. Today is Monday, September 13th, 2021. Welcome back to the SWINGCAST. We got 8 new picks for you. Let's look into them. If you're new here, welcome. We're going to discuss technical analysis. Now we're going to start off with supports, resistances, trend lines, patterns, EMA lines, volume profile. You can't forget RSI, stochastic, and the vortex indicator. These are the 9 things I use for technical analysis. When it comes to a full trading plan, I do focus risk management, technical analysis, fundamental analysis, mental analysis, a whole trading plan, goal setting, macro markets, and consistency. When those 8 things can be achieved, you're going to trade in the zone and do just fine. With that being said, 8 great picks today. I want to hop right into these. The Discord's still free until the 1st of the month. Go check it out in the description box down below. Early picks, 2 newsletters a day, live recording sessions, all these kind of great things. Go watch other people because it's not supposed to be a competition. Go watch them and enjoy them as well. But that being said, some good picks today. Let's get into it. New kid. BSX is our first pick of the day. As we can see, our support is right here. It's our white line. Our resistance is this orange line. Our supporting trend is gold. Our resistance trend will be orange and dotted. This one doesn't have one, as we can see. These boxes are for my Discord people. I got the newsletter done early today. Moonshot, reasonably. Price target, buy-in, as we can see, we got in today. And then a stop loss as well. When it comes to volume profile, these 2 white dotted lines is where 70% of volume happens. This red dotted line is where the most volume happens. I'm not going to discuss volume profile right now, but watch this video. Bada boom, bada bing. Right now, 15-20 minutes, brand new tool for your toolkit. Trust me, you'll appreciate it. It'll make your trading much, much better. When it comes to the BSX, on the 1-year chart, absolute rocket. Really just been going up, looking beautifully. Sure, you can try and draw some type of trend line. Wrong tool, you idiot. Some kind of, trend line here, maybe like a little bit of a wedge. I don't really see anything at all. I just kind of see this trend up. Now, again, the best value comes right below this trend line, so I think we may have some more room to dip down. 43, get below 44, anywhere in the 43 range looks pretty good to me for BSX. Let's check the indicators. As we can see, I don't actually scan with indicators on. No VWAP, no EMA line balances, no crosses, none of that kind of stuff. It's all off price action. The indicators show me 4 things: trend, momentum, volume, volatility. That's it. And it's either going to help me and support me or stop me and deter me from entering. Let's check them out. I haven't looked at these at all, so together live, let's look at them. We can see the 200 EMA line is going to be a great support. Bounce, 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 bounce. So that's where we are right now. With that being said, sure, not being at the best value is fine, because again, this 200 EMA line is going to be a great value. You may dip 2 or 3% below it, as we can see, about 2% below it here. But right about this area, a fantastic deal. I love what we're seeing for that convergence. Supports here, trend lines here. Great trend, EMA line. We also have our great volume profile line here. Looks really good. RSI, it's low, right where you want it. Stochastic is low, right where you want it. Bulls low, bears high, but they're also consolidating. So they're going sideways. How this play over here has been going basically back and forth consistently with no reaction. That's what we're seeing here. BSX, I like it a lot. I think it's a really easy play for a beginner. Use that 200 EMA line bounce to use all those kind of indicators right there. All the great support and trend lines there. I try not to yawn. Again. It's one of those days, but BSX, watch this. I do like it a lot. Next is EMR. What an uptrend. Again, let's go to the 1-year chart. It may not be the most clean uptrend, right? It has a few breaks. Again, it may become a broadening wedge setup here, but at the same time, when you zoom in, it looks like it's fairly even, fairly consistent. Anywhere down below $100 here is a great value. I think we have a bit more to dip. Right, this is a huge downtrend. I think you would have gotten faked out. Oh, we have a great day here. Dip back down. I don't think this knife is quite over yet. I want to get down at a better value. 97, 96 is probably where I'm kind of enter into. Anywhere in this area, in this convergence spot where this old resistance becomes a support, and where this trend line matches up pretty well. I don't think we have our best value, but overall, the price target's like 120. We got plenty of room to run up. Looks really good here. Look what we're seeing. Let's check these indicators. And once again, Chef Boyer swing, baby. This 200 bounce, 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 bounce. Look at that. You're right there. Now you have options. This is what's great about being right below 200. Now you have options. You can do 1. Wait for value. You can dictate where value is. If you think that value is at 100, 99, 98, your choice. You decide where the value is. Or you wait for the crossover. You go back over the 200. You can buy in, put a stop loss below that next candle, put the stop loss somewhere below like 98 bucks here, and let this bad boy run. Crossover's fine, value's fine. Both plays, great options for EMR here. I love that. That gives us a great pivot tomorrow. If tomorrow's green, we play the crossover. It's red, just get a better value. It's all good. RSI, it's low, beautiful. Stochastic, it's low, beautiful. Bulls low, bears high, gorgeous. EMR does seem to have a bit more value to dip, but if it does cross back over the 200, that's going to be your go signal as well. Both were great right there. EMR, watch just it. I like a lot for tomorrow. Next is ITB. This is a trusted U.S. home construction materials being sold. A really good ETF going into this time of the year. I think it's going to be powerful. It's going to be running higher. On the 10-year, look, it kind of follows the S&P 500 because those kind of go together, real estate. And again, we have plenty of value here. You may want to watch the macro markets for sure for this one. But you want to get a really good leveraged ETF that's only based off of BlackRock and real estate. Well, this may be a great one for you. I can see in the future this buying going up higher and higher as I buy more homes. It makes a lot of sense to me. But also, technically speaking, it does make a whole lot of sense here. Maybe you want to get down about $69. You want to get down there, cool. But we're getting into a great area of value. A bit lower is fantastic. I want to see there's an EMA crossover, and there is. Once again, you cross that 10, buy in. Cross the 200, you can buy in. Both are fine right there. But I think with us being below 200, dip all the time, I think this is a great value. Maybe get a bit lower, but anywhere down here looks to be a good value. Verified by the EMA lines. Looks pretty good. RSI, it's low, 35. You maybe want about 30, but it was just there. Still a fine deal. Stochastic's low, bulls low, bears high. I mean, ITB also hits every single box there. Now again, it's an ETF, so your research on BlackRock, your research on real estate is mightily more important than any other kind of technical setup. Make sure you do your research, but from what I can see, technically speaking and possibly fundamentally speaking, makes a lot of sense. Next is MOGO. We played MOGO before. I call MOGO over here, so it looks pretty good. It ran up like 13% in a few days. Again, on the 10-year, look at this wedge. Gorgeous. Making a beautiful wedge here, right? And this, maybe we're going to dip down a bit farther. You can see a strong support's probably closer to about 413. Look at this resistance here at 396. See that bounce there? It may we have one more wave down, okay, to about 396, to about right about here. That's fine. Keep it on your radar. That's the best part about the show. You don't have to play MOGO right now, but if you watch listed, it'll be ready for you to go later. So make sure MOGO's watch listed. Look at this great trend line down, great wedge down. I think the price target's like 16. I mean, it's pretty great. Easy tech play. I think it could be a bit lower towards 430. It's showing life here, not terrible, but again, I want it a bit lower. Looks pretty good though. I'm sure the 50, the 50 is going to be an EMA break. See how the 50 is being a resistance, support, resistance, resistance, resistance. That's going to be a really great sign of strength when you get above that. The 10, for intraday trading and day trading, sure. But until you break either of those, all you got is great value. So again, good value, but again, the EMA lines will be resistances. So not terrible, but not perfect. I mean, the RSI is low. Stochastic's fair because we're kind of creating a support here, which is fine. Bulls low, bears high still. I think MOGO, if it produces some form of support here and goes horizontally and then jumps up, makes a lot of sense. I think also we could get in a bit lower. I think the 390 area we saw in the 10-year makes a whole lot more sense. So watch list it. Let's see what it does. If tomorrow's red, make it an even better deal. Can't get mad at that. Next is PRTS, Car Parts Com Inc. Like it. Look at this down. Again, it breaks a little bit, so our best value is probably towards 16 and some change. Let's zoom out. As we can see, it got volatile for a while on a horizontal channel here, and then it just took off. Whatever it did, congrats to them. Gorgeous uptrend now, sure. Again, you can see in the 10-year, we may be getting closer to the 16, 19, 16, 20 spots. See, we may be being a bit aggressive here, but if we do see a dip tomorrow to about 1630, 1640, I'd be high alert down here. I'd be even fair to move this down here. That's going to be our strong support. Let this come down to us, 1630, 1640. But again, you can easily see 15, 20% moves, and you're risking very little. It's a very great, consistent play. Long term, looks like an ascending triangle, doesn't it? With the 2050 here. Up, down, up, down, up, down. That's a great sign of bullish strength as well. I like to say that a lot too. EMA lines and indicators wise, all three are together. See how tight these are coupled together? That's showing consolidation. That means probably a big move is coming. See how this is going sideways? How all EMA lines are going sideways with this? You break over this, big move. You keep breaking down, great value. I think we're going to see 1620, 1630. Worst case, Ontario, 1395. It really does break down, but down here, it's going to be a fantastic support play. Either way, I'm fine. RSI, 36, pretty good. Stochastics low, no real divergences, but looks pretty good to me. And again, it's consolidating. You want the bulls lower, but it's consolidating. This uptrend shows life. Sure, you want it probably a little bit lower, which means that's why I think we may dip to about 16 bucks. But right here, again, I would certainly watch list it and see what it does. PRTS, I think, is a little less clear than other plays. I think something like MOGO or EMR is so much easier for a beginner or BSX. But for someone who's more experienced, someone who wants to play some more volatility and wants to have a longer hold, PRTS is pretty fantastic, a bit lower. I like it a lot. I would definitely watch list it and see what it does this week. Next is RADA. I've called RADA before. This is a great support play. Not going to spend too much time on the technical because it's super simple. Great support play. Old resistance, support, resistance, support. Right there. Obvious wedge is kind of forming. And again, this is a very low risk play. If it does break down 2 or 3%, I get out because the structure is done. And I could buy in probably towards 985 or in worst case Ontario 926. If it shows some life, easy 5 or 6% no breakout. That's a 3-to-1 no breakout. If it does break out, you could hope to see 1280 and maybe one day 14 or 15 bucks. Really good risk versus reward play here. With the indicators, the 50 is going to be your strong resistance, and so is a 210. You get over that, great, but otherwise, I'm not overly concerned with the EMA lines. I want to break above the 200, but right here, it's a great value. RSI under 30. Look at that stochastic. Boom, right into value. Perfect, looking really good. Bulls low, don't get much lower. Bears high, bears don't get much higher than this. RADA, a great value purchase. Make sure you do your fundamentals. Why did it sell off? Make sure you can explain that to a 10-year-old. If you can explain what the edge is to a 10-year-old, you're probably doing just fine. Keep it simple, stupid. I think if you do your research, RADA makes a lot of sense, technically and fundamentally. Watch list it. Let's see what it does this week. Next is SHOO, Madden, Steve Madden. What a support play. Super simple play. Bounce, bounce, bounce. All the way at 38, 39 bucks. It gets here, always bounces back. Clear resistance trend line. We can break that for a great breakout play. On the 10-year, look, it gets up here constantly. See, it gets higher, and it's used this area as an old resistance. It gapped over it, old resistance. Now it's making a support. Again, low risk play here. If it breaks down farther, we're just going to get out, right? If it does break down 2 or 3%, you're done. You can get back in towards the volume profile line, or in this case, probably closer to 33 bucks. You get a breakout here, you can easily see 13, 14%, risking 2. Super easy play, great horizontal channel being created here. I like what I see a lot. With the indicators, we can see clearly the 200 going sideways is showing consolidation. The 50 will be a resistance, so again, make sure you're short term, not long term. Price targets based off the 50. Don't get too aggressive. Once you break above that, you're off to the races. RSI, low. Stochastic, low. I mean, I don't really see I see a small divergence. I mean, you got this. That's a small divergence. Not super, but it's definitely there. And then bulls low, bears high for sure. SHOO makes a whole lot of sense for a support play. Makes a whole lot of sense for a beginner playing into it. I think we have better plays for more risk, more reward in general. But SHOO, super simple play. If tomorrow's green and it breaks that resistance trend line, should be a good day. Last and not least is X. I loved X over here because, X gonna give it to you. What? We had X over here. What a fantastic run. We played like 4 or 5 times. Same with Cliff. CLF is the exact same setup as we can see, and that's also a value, so keep your eyes on Cliff. But X, I think, can get just a bit lower. I think it's an obvious downtrend. Right, this is it's a crystal clear play down, right? I think we may see some life. Don't get freaked out and come back down. I think X is going to be a longer term watch for you. If we can get X towards 21, that support, absolutely astonishing. If it lives here, fine. But I think maybe we're coming down to the POC. Give me 23.70. Let this bad boy sell off to me right in this area, right in this golden channel of value. But anywhere in here, I'm on high alert again. An X steel makes sense. It's always a good purchase. I think with the tying that with, which one was that? ITB makes a whole lot of sense too. See what they both do and housing does in steel, but I think X here makes a whole lot of technical sense as well. Let's check the indicators under the 200. That's going to be an obvious resistance. Same with the 50. See that 50? You get above that, now it's off to the races. You get over that 50 and the 10, you have your big moving days. So even if you don't want to watch X currently, set an alert on TOS for a price over the 10 price over the 50 EMA lines. Once that happens, then you can day trade this. It gets real crazy, real good green on those days. So once you get properly stacked, X is your best move. So once you cross that 10, you're good to go. But I think we could get a bit lower here. You know, RSI, it's low. Stock is low. Bulls, bears consolidating. We're kind of fighting back and forth. But I think bulls are lower, bears are higher. It looks pretty good. I like what X has to offer. I like what CLF has to offer. I like what ITB has to offer as well. All are really good picks. I want to see what they do this week. I really enjoy what we see with it. But I think overall, X, watch this for the next few months. Always going to be a great pick in this uptrend. And there you guys have it. Thank you so much for the support. We'll see you guys tomorrow for another watch list. I'm sorry for the late release. I've just been so busy today. That's why I'm so tired. But we'll see you guys tomorrow for another watch list. Thank you so much. Check out the Discord for early class access. I appreciate y'all so much. We'll see you guys tomorrow.